Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the Detroit Tigers. And as always, do not forget to like and subscribe to show support if you enjoy the content on my channel that I've been posting and would like to keep up with it. Now here looking of course at the end of the entire season, at the end of the playoffs, we have new World Series champions as the Padres sweep the Astros, who won the American League pretty handily, 4-1 against the Twins, and swept the Indians. And the Padres, they ended up pretty much taking the division series, all 5 games against the Cardinals, and then beating the Atlanta Braves in a 7-game series in the NLCS. And the Braves, remember, are at least were 2-time defending World Series champs in this save. So not a shabby feat by the Padres, and then of course destroying the Astros at the end of the season. So again, if you missed the last episode, just remind you here, well, go check that out, number 1, if you didn't see it. And then also we had a disappointing season, below 500, 77 and 85, so not a good season for us. So we'll definitely be looking to retool the team this year. Not probably making any drastic moves, just probably subtle upgrades to get our team back to the postseason, which I definitely think is doable. So now here, beginning of the offseason, we're going to look at now pretty much all of the things that we have to take care of that comes with that time, such as bringing new players and of course bringing back the old ones, which we will be doing first. Bunch of minor league guys retiring here, but not, of course, anyone that we are interested in. We have personnel leaving, and yikes, it's pretty much everyone on our staff. I forgot to re-up with them. So actually first let's go ahead and do that kind of stuff right away. Mansolino, of course, has been our long-standing manager, at least for the past 2 seasons. And honestly, we'll probably see how we get off to in our start of the next season to decide what we're going to do with kind of his future. Actually, definitely don't want to look at bench coaches first, because I want to prioritize all of kind of the other coaches that we want. And looking at reputation here, looks like Andrew Dobbies, maybe, that it is, as a guy who's available, and he has an excellent reputation, outstanding reputation actually. According to this, looks like he recently worked as the pitching coach for the Yankees, who have been pretty decent in his time, and he has a neutral pitching focus, so he's kind of going to help everyone out equally. And we're going to go ahead and sign him on. And now here, looking at hitting coaches, we have Marcus Timms here, who is also available, also a former Yankees assistant. He helps guys who are more power hitters. It looks like he helps Paolini, which is kind of interesting, because I do not really chalk him up as a power hitter. And next, he's angry. Definitely want to make ease kind of our Rule 5 pick that we have. And this guy who's been the Dodgers hitting coach, of course, they've been ridiculous so far. They won the World Series 2 times in a row and have been in the playoffs each single time of the save. And we're definitely going to bring in Marcus Timms here to be our hitting coach. And then we also need a new trainer, because he did not re-up with us. And the biggest thing, of course, that we want here is preventing arm injuries. And of course, we would like a guy who can also heal those arms pretty quickly, because of course pitching injuries and in real life in this game are kind of the most frequent injuries, and we're getting really more frequent by the season that goes by, which is kind of just how it goes with this this era of baseball, which is what I was trying to say. Joe Brennan, this guy at the top here, looks good. He's great at preventing arms, outstanding at healing arms. Also, pretty good at preventing back injuries, and he's pretty good at helping guys not become fatigued too quickly. So I think we're definitely going with this guy. I'm kind of unproven in preventing other random miscellaneous injury, but I mean his ratings are pretty good, and he definitely is great at healing arms as well. Yeah, so I think he's definitely the best guy that fits what we need the best, I think. And okay, now let's get here into our bringing back our own guys. And Casey Mize is it's 13 million. I would probably have extended him based on kind of his previous track record this year, but he did not have a good season, so we're gonna hold off on extending him and kind of let him play out this next season and see how that goes before we make too many big decisions really about him. Daz Cameron and Basabe getting to their first years of arbitration, so that is fine with me. And it doesn't really look like either of them are interested in an extension at this point in their careers. And yeah, I mean, pretty much I think kind of the main thing that we're kind of looking for this year is basically just guys to have bounce back kind of years. So of course, like Dahlback, he was fantastic for us in 2023. Kind of not as good in those previous years, but I really think his production is going to be somewhere in between there. So I'm really hoping on him having a bounce back year. And Paredes, of course, had a monster year for us, so guys like him continuing. Cameron being able to play a full season or close to a full season will be big for us, and same with Basabe here. And then guys who are pending free agents, Holby Mona, he was not that fantastic for us, so we're going to let him walk. And then JD Martinez is the guy who is on the free agent market now. Of course, he has been our long-standing kind of DH in this. He really cannot play the field whatsoever. And so he's really locked in at kind of being a DH kind of guy. He's been really good for us. He's really not been getting anything, and at least we have not been paying him anything. And yeah, I mean, our money situation is pretty tight, which is unfortunate. Honestly, we might look to kind of cut some salary. So guys, I wanted to go into this screen, not that one. Yeah, so yeah, our budget is not that big, and really here we have. So guys, of course, yeah, we're going into 2025 right here, and really our top paid guys kind of are mostly on the shelf, and then I mean we don't really have a lot of guys making much big money, lots of minimum salary guys. But I mean, like Jimenez is going to be out for this whole season coming up. So honestly, maybe a guy like Dahlback kind of does become expendable then. Or maybe Paredes. I mean, he's good, but I don't know if kind of like a Castro situation. Like, he's a very good guy to have in your team, but I just don't know if he's worth that huge increase in price tag. Of course, he's coming off a career year. Let's go ahead and actually check that BABIP. I mean, yeah, he has been a plus major league hitter in every season, at least better than league average. Kind of been that utility guy who can play kind of everywhere. Did the same thing this year, but was really good doing it. Definitely want to check on that BABIP. Yeah, it was 336, so that could probably be attributed to a little bit of an uptick, as it looks like his kind of career BABIP is a little over 300, kind of mid 310s here, and then that 280 on his what was his worst major league year in 2022. Then actually I want to also quick check that on Bobby Dahlback to see kind of what's going on with him. Okay, so yeah, kind of 290s BABIP here, 280s BABIP there. His best season was 329. He's striking out a lot, a big strikeout guy, 30%-ish. Also kind of a decent walks guy, so walks probably more than average, strikes out a lot more than average. So I think I'm actually going to shop him and Paredes and just see what's available, and then I'll just kind of let you guys know what comes up, and then we'll get into kind of what we're going to do with these guys. Because if we move anyone, I mean, it's really, I don't see how it could be anyone but these guys. I mean, we could move Montoya. I don't know if I want to move him yet, because he is a fantastic reliever on a cheap salary. But of course, if you're not a good team, having a stud reliever does not really do anything for you. So and of course Dalbec having a down year, and then Paredes having a great year, where his value is definitely at an all-time high. So we're gonna go ahead and shop both of these guys, and I'll let you know pretty much what comes out of us shopping them. Okay, so by the looks of kind of all of the deals that I've seen so far, I do in fact think that we're gonna go ahead and move on from Paredes and Dalbec, because the value that I'm finding here is looking to be pretty good. Now, a lot of the guys that were being offered were guys who, of course, we're kind of still in the rookie deals, and we're moving on to arbitration. But I found a deal here that I actually really like, especially for Paredes. So here we would get Hunter Williams, who is a guy who really can't play first base. His defensive ratings are not very good, and he is 28 already, but his hitting ratings are absolutely fantastic, and he barely has any major league service, so we would be able to we wouldn't be really paying him anything for a long time in this game. And he actually can pitch a little bit. Most of these guys who are listed as kind of a fringy two-way players can't really pitch, but this guy can actually pitch a little bit. Of course, would be comfortable using him a lot as one of our best relievers, but he definitely could eat up some innings for us, especially with our bad starting rotation. He could definitely see some innings in the bullpen for us. And then there are three other players actually we can get in this deal, and the only other guy I would be offering up here is a 24-year-old corner outfielder who cannot really hit and cannot play defense. So he's he's never really going to be anything. And the guys that we're looking at picking up are a 21-year-old Luis Perales, who has 2+ pitches. He has electric stuff. Throws 99 to 101. Absolutely crazy electric stuff. And then Dawson Merriman, looks to be kind of a lower end starter, lower end righty. Not the greatest stamina, but 3 solid pitches. Sinker, slider, changeup, so most likely a ground ball guy, kind of guy. Sidearm guy, so not a bad guy there. And then here's kind of just the add-on that I saw that I think could be interesting. I think it's Sedan Rafaela maybe. This guy, his hitting ratings aren't particularly great, but he is looks like he is going to develop into having quite a knack for getting on base. His discipline is kind of looking to be all the way up to 65, and he already really rarely strikes out at all. So this is a deal that I'm really considering doing. Actually, when I was looking at this deal, I didn't quite see that Williams can't really play the field at all. So I'm going to go back in and kind of look at some more deals. But this one kind of really stands out to me, and I think this is the one that we're probably going to do. But I'm just going to double check real quick and make sure. Okay, so here's a deal that I think we're actually going to do instead of the Paredes deal I like. So here's CJ Abrams, who is a guy who's 24. He is a big shortstop prospect, but really here he's really looking like more of a corner guy, but great offensive profile. Not much home run power necessarily, but great gap power. Is going to hit a lot of doubles, especially in extra base hits in general with his great speed. Going to hit a lot of doubles, things like that. And of course, Comerica with the big gaps. Could he possibly be an outfielder? He could. Even though it really looks like he's probably an infielder, but most likely a corner second baseman, more of type of guy with his limited infield range. Yeah, so it looks like more of a corner guy, but I'm still very fast. Probably could play some outfield for us. Honestly, probably replacing Paredes in his role maybe a little bit, since he can play a little bit of outfield. But I'm still very solid player. Basically, we're giving up 3 just throw-ins just to kind of make this deal work. None of these guys are going to be anything. And then picking up some good pitching pieces, Jefferson Garcia, who throws a lot of pitches, a lot of plus pitches at that. Actually throws a fork ball. Pretty decent control, pretty decent stuff. I think he could be a back-end starter kind of guy for us. Ryan Weathers, he's a guy who can also be a starter, more probably as a reliever. He is a lefty, which is very good. All of these guys have very limited major league experience, by the way. So yeah, plus pitches. Another guy, fringy starter, most likely a bullpen guy. And then Tyler Freeman, this guy who are kind of getting is another infield piece, just a pretty decent guy. Not really a shortstop, but more of a maybe kind of corner infield guy, second baseman. Probably will see a good amount of innings for us at second base this year, but his offensive profile is pretty good. Again, good gap power with him, does not strike out a lot. So we're going to do this deal here for Paredes, who's of course going to be bumped up to a big 9 million, probably 10 million, which is what he wants this year. So we're going to go ahead and be moving on from him. And yep, complete that trade. Yeah, fans don't like this one, but it's going to be better for our team as a whole. At least I believe so. And then as for Dalbec, I don't think I'm going to go ahead and move him quite yet. I still maybe want to see a little bit from him. He definitely could be moved later in this video, later in the offseason, but for now I think we're going to stand pat with him, because a lot of the guys that are being offered up for him are guys who are just entering arbitration, and I want to see kind of what their figures end up being before we get into really anything crazy. So we're going to go ahead and wait out on him. We have now reached free agents, the day that free agents file, but we're going to retroactively go and look at all of the awards. Here's just kind of a quick scroll through of what money everyone is kind of receiving. And I think maybe too surprising. Maybe Cameron getting 6 might be a little surprising, but nothing too out of the ordinary. I think Tatis Jr. wins MVP for the National League, which they had a great season. American League, Wander Franco takes home that. Torres second, Nolan Jones third. Anybody for us receiving votes? Probably not. Yep. No, at least not that I saw on quick go through there. Mike Soroka winning the Cy Young Award. Olivares winning it, coming second for the Rockies. Chris Paddock third. Spencer Howard got some votes there. He had a good year. Nobody for us, of course, because we are in the American League. Shane Bieber winning the AL Cy Young. Nate Pearson second, then fellow Indian Savale third, and no Tigers are in the voting here, of course. Skipper goes to Moody of Houston. Rodriguez of San Diego nabs it for National League. Daniel Johnson wins Rookie of the Year for the Phillies in the National League. Jordan Walker, our own, getting an award there. So he wins Rookie of the Year for the American League. So that is very cool to see. Platinum stick for National League. Just quick scroll through there. American League, Paredes winning it at second base. That's pretty cool to see. Of course, the now guy who is not a Tiger, but who is a Padre, winning that one. Munoz wins Reliever of the Year for the National League. Was Montoya in the running here? He was not. NL Gold Gloves. Nothing really out of the ordinary there. And American League. Nothing really out of the ordinary there. And we don't have anyone there. And then also I should mention that all of the coaches that we offered up to signed on. And speaking of coaches, I just literally remembered that we have a bench coach position open, and we definitely want a guy who can help develop our younger players and has good relationship with our guys. Terry Steinbach. Looks like a guy who's decent at that. Not a good relationship with a lot of guys. Yeah. But, okay, maybe we'll sort by relationship then. Gavin Douglas, what's he looking like? Not a guy who really necessarily manages like we would maybe want. Mickey Morandini, pretty chalk guy there. Not really influence on any of our guys really. I forgot we're going by pages there. And not too much here. Josh Bard. What's he looking like? Bad relationship with all of our pitchers, which is kind of whack. Especially because if this is the Josh Bard that I think... Oh no, that's Daniel Bard that I'm thinking about actually. Whoops. Okay, actually I think I do want to go by development. Just to kind of see. Yeah, and all these Irish guys, I mean Steinbeck, I mean... Probably better have an unorthodox guy or maybe Barry Larkin here, tactician. This kind of guy on the team, and yeah, he doesn't look too bad. He has a good relationship with a Walker, which I like. So I think he's kind of who we're looking at first here. We have a Canadian here who likes to steal a lot. Honestly, Barry Larkin may be who we go with here. Sandy Alomar Jr., low influence on a lot of our pitchers. Yeah, I mean, looks like we might just have to go with one of these guys, because I definitely want like a guy who has a positive effect on our players. Swan, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, sweet Steinbach, let me see him again. Yeah, I think Barry Larkin is who we go with here. And I don't think a bench coach should matter too much. Okay, now quick going back to free agency filings. I don't want this video to be too long. I think we're getting a little lengthy here. I haven't looked at kind of the time we're running though. Any interesting international guys? This guy, decent depth of reliever. Nothing more than that probably. Orlando Velasquez out of Cuba. Slings 97 to 99 as a sidearm guy. Did I just offer him minor league? I did, which is what he was looking for, so maybe he'll take that. Lots of Cuban guys here in the international pool this year, but none of them are very good, unfortunately. This guy never strikes out, but not really any redeemable stats other than that. Ooh, it's like a massive free agent class here. Of course, we don't have the money to go after really any of these guys, but like Mookie Betts is available. That is not Mookie Betts, that's Juan Soto, who is a tank in this game. Just, oh yeah, absolute tank. 7-win season, but last year he posted a 10-win season. Miguel Diaz. We're going to offer him right away because he's looking for basically nothing. We're going to up it to 1.5. I want him bad. It looks like he didn't have a bad season last year either. Yeah, I definitely am offering up to him for sure. For sure, without a doubt. Just kind of want to just check quick here who is actually available. Calhoun. Of course, he doesn't really have a position, though. Unfortunately, kind of looking at more guys here. Carlos Martinez isn't really much of a starter anymore. It still lists him as a starter though. Not too much here. Stevenson, nasty stuff. But of course, kind of fringe relievers aren't going to help us get to where we're trying to go. Miguel Adolfo, a decent right fielder. Jesus Aguilar. Maybe he could. I'd be interested in him as kind of a DH guy. Okay, I think first we're going to kind of maybe take a little profile of our team and what we need, and then we'll look at free agency, because I'm not quite sure with all the new guys that we have how it might shake out. So Walker, of course, is in there at third. We have Ritter and Perez, of course. We'd like to upgrade at short. And where? CJ Abrams, there he is. Okay, so yeah, he cannot play short with that infield range. At least I would prefer him to not play short. Now, thing I think that we kind of need to decide here is, do we want to kind of continue the Jordan Walker shortstop experiment? Because we could definitely try that. And I think we will at least try that in spring training. I'm having him at short. We'll play Abrams at third. Okay, and it's actually starting him at short right now. Abrams, that is. So maybe we let that play out for a little bit, see if it develops. But Walker's the better range, so I actually think I'd rather have him at short at first, and then maybe move Abrams back over there if Walker can't handle it. And you can play any corner spot. So I mean, you'll be slotted in there. Palini, you're of course slotted in at left. Packard, it has him DHing, so yes, we definitely could use another bat. So yeah, I think Aguilar will probably be a guy who we look to bring in just maybe as a DH option, because he hits pretty well against both-handedness. Yeah, and so yeah, we have Dahlbeck, and then we also have Packard as a depth option, which he isn't too bad. Although he's not a guy who want to be giving everyday at bat. So if we bring in Aguilar, I think that would be fine. And then we have again a bunch of our depth outfielders up here. Bishop, who cannot play first, but he could be a DH option against righties, although Wentz is kind of in there in that kind of spot now, and Meadows is also in there. Meadows is probably, actually I bet a lot that he would be he's going to be our fourth outfielder heading into the season. Then Reed and Siegler return as our kind of catching duo. So that's for that. So we definitely need at least one more bat, no matter really what it is. So we'll probably sign 2 veteran bats. Rocker and Mines, of course, at the top. Wentz, Garcia, and White. So we could use another starter, probably a veteran guy. Then in the bullpen, we have a lot of these kind of fringy guys that should be good bullpen pieces, also fringy starters. Especially down here, Cam Wynn, hopefully we get a look at what he can do as he's back from his injury. We have Penn Murphy there, and then in the minors, we have guys like Collins, who's ready. Probably not a good defensive catcher. Maybe he has a future at first or the outfield, maybe DH, but his hitting ratings are pretty much ready. So he's definitely going to get a chance over Reed or Siegler at some point, or at least a chance on the roster. Almeas, we know what he is. Robson, he's definitely going to get a chance in the major leagues this year. He's 22. Camarada, he's 24 already. He isn't necessarily wanting a chance in the majors this year yet, but he might get it depending on how the season goes. And then we have a bunch of pitching depth there with 3-star guys. So yeah, we're definitely going to go after a bat or 2 and probably a starter, and that's what we're going to do. But I think I'm going to close the first part of the offseason here, and then we'll get into the second part in the next video, which will basically be just free agency, Row 5 draft, finishing out the offseason. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.